guys, so today I'll be talking to you about how to start doing work as an alternative model. This is actually half of a set of two videos. This video will be talking mainly about the more practical how-to advice, whereas the other video is talking about my personal experience becoming an alternative model. So if you're interested in seeing that, the link will be down below and here. So I'd been wanting to make videos like this for a pretty long while, but up until recently I didn't consider myself a professional enough model to really make these sorts of videos. But then everything changed a couple of months ago and I got published and I've started getting more paid jobs, and now it's how I make the majority of my money, so I figured now's a decent enough time to start making these videos. I want to do a quick shout out to Dystopia Chaotica for actually commenting on one of my videos and telling me she wanted to see these sorts, because up until now I just sort of figured like I'll make these videos but maybe people will think it's just a big ego trip and no one wants to see these sorts of videos from me, but she wants to see them, so if anyone else wants to see them I guess that's amazing too. So let's assume that you've done no modelling before and you're really wanting to get started and you don't know where. If you're lucky, you have a friend of a friend or a sibling or an uncle or something like that that does photography that you can maybe convince to take pictures of you. That's how I personally got started, and that's one of the easiest ways to get into it. And because it's someone you know, it'll be a lot more of a comfortable situation to get started out in. So if you absolutely cannot get any professional photographs, if you can even just get a friend of yours to take some decent quality mobile phone pictures of you, that'll be absolutely fine. You'll need these when you're applying to modelling sites. These are the main places where I get work. I also get castings from Facebook, but in order to be kind of accepted to the modelling pages on Facebook, you already need to be a model and have modelling pictures, so it's all this big thing, and to start off with you need pictures. But a lot of modelling websites will still take you on if you just have mobile phone pictures. So what you'll need is you'll need a good quality headshot of just your head, face on, minimal makeup just to see what you look like, nothing crazy, no crazy, just a headshot, not quite like a passport photo, not like a big like dour-faced picture, a picture where you're smiling and you're showing that you're like confident and happy and excited, like that. You could also do a side picture so that people can see the side of your face, but that's kind of optional. And then they'll also want like a full body picture so that when people go in your portfolio and they see what you've put your stats as, like your height and weight and stuff, so they can see that that's all correct. So just a full body picture of just you kind of standing there, not doing anything crazy, just, you know, like that. And that will be the bare basics of what you'll need. Now if you're not UK based, I can't really tell you what sites are the best because obviously I'm based in the UK, but the site I mainly use is Purpleport. It's just a modelling portfolio website, that's the one I've found to be the best. I also have a profile on PureStorm, but I've found that that site tends to deal more with glamour photography and kind of lads mag type nudie stuff. And when I was active on that profile, that's all I got asked for, so I just stopped using it. I don't have a Model Mayhem account because that's not really what a lot of the better photographers use in the UK. If they have a Model Mayhem account and not a Purpleport account, I'm usually quite skeptical of their credentials. There's a couple of other UK sites, but I've not used them. Purpleport seems to be the main one that everyone uses. But if you're not from the UK, just sort of Google about and find what ones come up first. I probably would steer clear of Model Mayhem and see if there's any other kind of more state-based or local ones. So when you're setting up your profile, you want to put your stats, your height, weight, hair colour, everything. It's really important not to lie in these because when it comes to actually doing a shoot, you're just gonna like disappoint the photographer if you say you don't have tattoos and you turn up for a lingerie shoot and it turns out you do. The photographer's gonna be really, really mad and he's gonna be like, what? you know, you're not what I expected you to be, and that's just not a good situation to be in. Stuff like that can happen, but it's really important to keep your stats up to date, and each time you change your hair colour and get new tattoos, you just put down how many tattoos you've got, what your hair colour is, and try and get a decent recent picture for your main profile picture. But we're skipping ahead a little bit, so assuming you've still got no professional pictures, you want to put your mobile pictures on there. What happens with Purpleport is there's a bit that shows photographers the newest people that have signed up, so they can see like all the new models and stuff. And when I started Purpleport, I had a lot of interest right at the start, and then it kind of ebbs away when you're no longer like high on that chart, but it lets you get some starting interest with photographers. So hopefully you'll find pretty quickly that you'll find people in your area wanting to do a photo shoot with you, and that'll be like super awesome. I'm going to talk about safety and stuff like that in another video because I don't want this video to go massively off topic. But as a short version, you'll see the photographer's portfolio, and you'll see their references, and if it all looks good and they look reputable enough, do a shoot with them and it will be awesome. Again, I'll talk in another video about staying safe and not, you know, being in a bad situation, but I'd say that the vast, like 99% majority of the photographers on those sites are absolutely fine and you have nothing to worry about. So you've done it and you've got your shoot and you're there. As far as etiquette goes, it's really good to have good communication with the photographer before your shoot. That's something that I'm always praised on because apparently a lot of other models don't do it. But you know, just like arranging the shoot and getting back to them as fast as possible. I have email alerts on my phone, so when a photographer messages me, I see it straight away and I can reply to it. If you don't have it, just check the page regularly. Once the shoot's all arranged, a couple of days before, it's always good to message them again just to double check, and then the night before, triple check to make sure that everything's fine. It's usually about the night before that photographers will give you their mobile number so that you can contact them when you're on the way to the shoot. Before I leave the house on the day of the shoot, I always text them to tell them I'm leaving and to make sure that nothing like an accident or illness has happened. It's also polite after a shoot's went really well that you go onto their page and write a good reference. There's a section in Purpleport where you can write references and it can be positive or negative. But that's always good because that's something that I always look for, a lot of positive reviews and stuff, so I know who to work with. Always try to turn up on time for the shoot. Sometimes I've been a tiny bit late, I've missed a train, and if that happens, always text them to let them know, but don't just not tell them and then be late. There's a lot of cases of photographers being completely abandoned by models and they just don't show up, and it's actually one of the biggest things photographers complain about on some of the rant pages on the sites and stuff like that. It's just not a good thing and it leaves you with a really bad reputation. That sort of a bad reputation really sticks, and a lot of people will be less willing to work with you if they think you're flaky. It's important to remember that photographers are completely normal people. The majority of them are just hobbyists, and that's not really how they make a lot of their money, and they just want to do it as a hobby, an expensive hobby, but a hobby nonetheless, and you're helping them with that. Another really important thing as well is to, you know, be nice at the shoot. Don't be a diva. No one is interested in an alternative model that's a diva. Like, it doesn't matter how big you are, people won't want to work with you. I'm always praised on how nice I am and how much fun it is to work with me, and that's always a good thing. I don't consider myself to be particularly good with social skills and stuff like that, but just so long as you're polite and you're not being rude or you're not checking your phone every 5 minutes, which is another complaint a lot of people get. Just always try to stay focused and stay happy, and the shoot will most likely go great. So if all things go well, you'll finish the shoot with someone that wants to work with you again, and you'll have some good images to put on your portfolio, and then more people will want to work with you, and it's a win all round. I hope this clears up some of the confusion people seem to have about starting to do alternative modelling. I know a bunch of people that want to do it and they don't know where to start, and it's all a bit sort of daunting, but I hope this sort of helps. It's really easy to get started. I'm planning to make this a proper series of videos, and I'll talk about safety, and I'll talk a little more about etiquette and all sorts of other things. If there's anything about alternative modelling that you want me to talk about, just let me know and I'll make a video about it. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.